Hello. Welcome to Renee in Tune. How are you? So, I have been. Well, let me light some incense really quickly. I have been thinking a lot about. I'm not going to get into anything really, but I've been thinking a lot about just the amount of confusion that is like being consistently spread out there in the world on social media. And yeah, go ahead and answer. Hi. Papa, go get the trash over there. Thank you. Hello, how are you? What's up? What's going on? Hello. No, the towels, no towels, just toilet paper. Hi, what's up? Hi, my love. Yeah, just a toilet paper, that's it. You wanna, is that towel still the same one from yesterday? You wanna, if you want to, you can exchange that one. I'm good, just in limbo. Oh, talk to me. What's going on? Hi, sugar. I love it that you you call me sugar. I call my youngest baby sugar. How am I doing? I'm doing well. I'm actually doing really good. No, you need a break. Watch this movie. I'm actually doing. I'm about to drive and listen to you, kiddo. Okay, cool. Be safe. Um, I'm actually doing really well. A little, couple things up in the air, but I'm not worrying about that. um, I am just here. I think I'm gonna do some readings this afternoon. So anyone who's interested in a reading, let me know. I had a dream today. The situation is going to work out. But yeah, talk to me.
Hey buddy, I wanted to tell you, we have inspection coming up. So while they're working, you can give them the trash. But after hours, either the dumpster or leave it in the room till the next day.
Can you
What
like
day
close
I
it a little
thought
bit?
after hours.
Hello, my love. How are you? Hey, babe. It's been I've been noticing so much how much like confusion is being spread. It's like rampant. And I know that there is so much like ascension happening to a lot of people, to many people, and even in many
Hey
young
guys,
people.
can
Yes,
we
hi.
change your beds today?
Um, just got here. It's not really necessary, but
Yesterday? Do you want to do it
yeah,
tomorrow?
yeah, that'd be good.
Okay, tomorrow.
Wait, do what?
Thank you.
Wait,
Yeah,
Do
we
you
just
know what's a good time for you? Anytime
any
you're leaving or something?
no, we're gonna be, but anytime is fine.
Anytime
Yeah, it
you're
doesn't
leaving,
matter.
me, I'll wait. Goodbye.
Do you have toilet paper?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess they changed the bed sheets.
Hey, babes. Sorry. Let me check these. An issue with a potential love interest may lose interest due to a personal issue. Okay, I understand. Your last reading definitely on point. Peace. Hi, beautiful. What's up, my love? Thank you for going back and watching it. Yeah, they've been on point for me too. The last couple of collective readings, I felt them. I just haven't met any of them yet, though. Oh, I feel you. So, um, it's it's a lot of. I guess I just want to kind of talk about being aware of how confusion is started and let and spread. I think that a lot of people come from a place of trying to make people aware of certain things or bring awareness, right? But it becomes an issue of, I don't know. I let me try to gather my thoughts. Hi, beautiful. What's up, my love? It's like there's the view of making people aware, right? But then it's attached a lot to confusion and and opposition. Hi, beautiful. Thank you so much. I was getting ready to call you so we can talk soon. I miss you. But I just have noticed that there is so much confusion being spread out there. I just want you all to be really aware of who you're listening to and what they're feeding you, and always come from a place of understanding on an inward basis. Does that make sense? Like, you should be your most trusted approval. If there is someone or something that you're following that are attracted to for some reason or the other, and there is a lot of confusion attached to that, that is your number one indication that that might not be for you. Does that make sense? Like, even if it was me, I'm telling you, I'm gonna go into mother mode and parent mode and say this in a, from like a motherly place. Even if it was me, you know what I mean? I say this, from a place of love. Even if it was me telling you something, if there is a cause of confusion in what you're hearing, then always question that. Does that make sense? I just noticed that there's so much, it's like there are people out there looking for following, I guess. And obviously I get it. Like, I'm running a business here, so yes, I'm putting content out. Yes, I'm interested in a following, but I just want to know that at the end of the day, that when I leave you with whatever message that I leave you with, that it's what you needed to hear. You know what I'm saying? That it leaves you in more peace than you came. I feel like there's so much being spread out there, and I noticed this in a lot of recent interactions that I've been coming across or having with people, that there's so much being spread out there that is inciting so much confusion and opposition. When people gather and join, there should not be so much opposition. If you're on the same team but you're constantly competing with one another, do you understand where I'm coming from? There's this level of, to me, that's called infiltration. That's how I view it. To me, that's called infiltration. When someone is gathering you together and then giving you reasons to oppose each other, to bicker amongst each other, to disagree, to compete, that is a form of infiltration. It is a way to keep you in control or controlled by something. Does that make sense? There's so much elevation happening, so much ascension happening, so much growth happening amongst the world, amongst people in general, especially certain people that come from certain places. And I'm talking on a spiritual level, not on a worldly level. So I'm not going to have these conversations with people about whatever their ideals are, about whatever bloodline and all that bullshit, because that's 3D, and all of that is distraction. There is a soul level that we're operating on, and there is a place, there is an origin where we come from, that it becomes people are confused, people are distracted from it. Does that make sense? You're distracted from your origin, you're distracted from your true self, you're distracted from your own soul's existence because of so many worldly things. I mean, I don't know how more, simply to put it, because people have their ideals and everybody feels how they feel about whatever. But when you're spending hours and hours and hours and hours discussing in irrelevant shit, worldly shit, things that's like, even if it is, a patternistic, and it is something that you find where if you notice this over here happening and that over here happening and blah, 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 whatever. I get it. But those things are distractions. They are distractions. There is a level of interaction with your own soul that should always be had. And I know that it is easy to feel, especially when you're very young and you're going through when you're going through a quick ascension, and it's just kind of been placed on you, because many people in this world have experienced, a kundalini rising, or have experienced an awakening of sorts. But many of those people have searched for that. Does that make sense? There was some lack, something missing. They searched for that journey. They searched for that spiritual journey. Right now, in the times that we're in, there are a lot of people, especially a lot of young people, young bodies, that are experiencing a very quick ascension process, kind of out of nowhere for some people. That is not mistaken. Don't be distracted by all of the worldly level things going on. There is a bigger picture. Your soul knows what that is. Do not allow confusion to come into the mix. I find that there's so many people that go gung-ho for things that they don't even understand. What are you going gung-ho for something you don't understand for? Like, if there's something that's causing confusion inside of you, and I mean confusion about who you are, confusion about where you come from, confusion about the people that you're dealing with, confusion about everything, that is your indication to question it. Question everything. And consult with your inner resources, consult with your higher self, because your soul knows everything. When you interact with people, especially like on the internet, you should be leaving their platforms better than when you came. You should be leaving their platforms in a more peaceful state than when you showed up. Does that make sense? If you're leaving that person's platform with all these questions about what what you know to be you, or who you know to be you. And I'm not saying that you should have questions, because y'all know I'm a research junkie. I got questions galore. I will search for information about anything. But there's a difference between you searching for information and being open to learning and elevating, and then being told by someone that you should follow them so that they could gain your money. And I'm not talking about like I'm selling readings. There's a lot of people on here selling things. But when I speak, I'm not glorifying anything to ask you to pay for something that is offering you war in your mind. Like there are people who are selling war. Selling war in and don't get me wrong, we're in the times of war, and many wars, because there are this land level wars that are going on, these earth level worldly wars that are going on, and then we're entering into a spiritual worship. However, if you are a believer in God or a source or a higher, power, or a place that we all began, then go turn that light on, please. Now.
Why did you keep doing that?
sorry, you know that it is not a confusing thing. Like the source is not is not confusion. God is not confusion. Do you understand what I'm saying? And there will be those that preach to be God. And there will be those that preach for you to follow them, and they will flaunt things to you, and then they will ask you for your money, and they will leave you with confusion and leave you in opposition with other people who follow them, who are supposed to be your teammates. If you feel that energy, question it. That's all I'm saying. Question it. Because you should not be leaving platforms where you're learning and where you're elevating and where you're connecting and where your soul tribe is, feeling more confused and unaware of self and battling, yourself, and in a place of I don't know how to say it, like a violent place, you know what I mean? Than when you came. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I am seeing a lot of that, a ton of that. And it disheartens me because we are not outside of ourselves. We are very much, when you're tapping in, yes, there's a lot of confusion that the world places upon us. But when you're tapping in, your soul knows everything. There's a certain level of peace or comfort that you find in your own gut feeling. Does that make sense? It's like when you just know and you don't question it. Like, let's go to as simple as when you think of somebody. Yes, when you think of somebody and they call you, or when you get a feeling or something and it happens, or you get a bad feeling about something and then you see why later on. There is no knowing like your inner knowing. There is no knowing like your inner knowing. You should be tapping into yourself every day. And I'm not saying that people can't teach you things. I'm not saying that you can't learn from outside of yourself. I'm not saying there isn't a ton of information out there to know. Because many of us don't take advantage of the information that there is out there, and we don't have a self-awareness. We don't know where we come. Let's get out of the spiritual lane and the soul level, and let's just get into the earthly level. Many of us, especially people of color, are displaced because of worldly circumstances, are displaced from our origins, our body's origins. Okay, many of us, people of color, are unaware. We're displaced from our origins, and so we have a lack of self-awareness. We have a lack of identity because we are removed from where we came from. However, there is a ton of information. You can research where you come from. You can find out where you come from. If you just learn a little bit about history, you can ballpark where you come from. I assure you that. And when you do, you have more of a sense of identity because you know. And we're talking about just on a 3D level. When you talk about a soul level, that's even more. That's not even about reading it from a book. That's about your soul's knowing. Your soul has a knowing. Each of you have felt it. Whether you are, in a higher place of whether you get it more or not, or less, whether you get it more or less, your soul has an inner know. You have an inner knowing inside of your body. That's your soul. That's your soul. And it communicates with you consistently. And it offers you a level of knowing that you cannot find anywhere else. Do you understand? And when you're tapping into a platform, when you're tapping into, whatever it is out there that you're tapping into, if you are leaving that platform more confused than when you came, if you are leaving that platform questioning your own inner knowing, if you are leaving that platform in opposition with those that are supposed to be on your team, then that is your indication that platform ain't for you, baby. Okay? I just wanted to drop that there because I feel like that's something that many, 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 many people are struggling with. And unfortunately, there are those out there that are taking advantage of that place of unawareness in people, that level of detachment with self. And there are many, many people that will take advantage of that and will feed you whatever it is that they're feeding, you know what I mean? Because honestly, I don't have, like, for me, my soul lets me know. If I'm not resonating with what you know what I mean? If y'all know, because my tribe, there's only one tribe like mine. There is no other tribe like mine. Y'all know how I talk about my tribe. There's only one tribe like my tribe. It's not replaceable. It's not, you don't find it twice. Let me just put it like that. And there's a level of awareness that we have. There's a level of recognition that we have, and that's why we're a tribe. You get what I'm saying? Just be careful. I bumped into quite a few people from drawn to the same, sources, or the same, I don't even know what to call them. I don't have a word for them. But I've seen it, and there's so much confusion and opposition in those people. And there's such a competition and such a disconnect from self that it's very disheartening for me. And I just felt the need to talk about that, to mention it, because, when you think about God and you think about a source, even when you've researched, because I'm a person that has researched many different religions, and when I say many, I mean back to the oldest. I'm talking about multiple different types of civilizations that have existed on this planet. You start getting that there is a root to all things. There is a root to all things. There is a root to all things, and everything is a rendition. It's like if I was to tell you something about my business, right? And I'm talking about not monetarily. Turn that on. Turn it on. Don't touch it anymore. Not monetarily, but like my personal business, right? Like if I was to tell you something about my personal business, and I tell one person, and I'm like, keep that to yourself. That's a secret. And then you go and you tell what I told to you to somebody else, to your friend. And then they go and they tell what you told to them to their friend. And then they go and they tell what they, what they told them to their other friend or to their cousin. And then they go tell it to their other cousin. And then they go tell it to their other cousin. At the end of this day, when that person, the story that person heard isn't going to sound like the story I told. Because with each person telling the story, there's going to be the change of a word, the change of a sentence, the change of a hello, my love. There's going to be the change of a word, the change of a sentence, the change of something, right? So by the time it gets to that person, it's not going to be the same story. And that is, in a nutshell, the definition of religion to me. It's all the same story. Just it has been changed throughout the generations, throughout civilizations, because that is how it's the word of man. That is how the word of man works. You get what I'm saying? We do that. we're built to do that. So when you're in a place of enlightening and in a place of learning and evolving and ascending and awakening, then you start to understand the whole as opposed to the divide. Does that make sense? And when you are tapping into a platform and, following people and following someone, and you're leaving that platform and you think that you need to be in competition with anyone else, or you think that there is an unpeaceful level of communication that we're supposed to be having, then you're being misled. Period, point blank. God is not someone that when you got them people out there walking around talking about they God, but they're teaching you confusion and opposition amongst yourselves, amongst your own tribe, and they walking around with certain, flaunting and with guns to protect themselves. Them people not God. You think that God has to do that? Do you think that God has to do that? Do you really think that God came to this planet in a body and to run around and act like that? I'm just saying. And just think about it. What does it make you feel? What is the vibration? What is that giving you? And I rarely speak about topics like this because I'm a person that likes to leave people better than what they found me. Like, no, I said it the right way, because I like to leave them better than what, they came, and they leave me better than what they found me every time. All of our interaction, my tribe knows, all of our interaction is that way. So I rarely talk about these topics. However, it's been disheartening for me because I can see the confusion in people. And people are so gung-ho about what they believe and who they're following. But you can see the battle within themselves that they're having as they're having it. And you can see the battle that they're having with each other. And if y'all are gung-ho about who you following and what you know and where you come from and what you doing here, then why are you in opposition with each other? Does that make sense? Does that really give you a feeling of inner knowing, a feeling of, it's disheartening for me. But I'm proud. I'm proud of my tribe. I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud. And I know that you guys have listened to me speak, and there's nothing else I speak about like the way I speak about my tribe, because I'm proud of my tribe. I'm proud of who you all are. I'm proud of who I am when I mingle and interact with you all. I'm proud of the work that we're doing here on this earth just because we've exchanged energy with each other. I'm proud of what we become when we walk away from each other. I'm proud. I'm proud. And there is no tribe like my tribe. None. It is not. It is irreplaceable. There is no tribe like my tribe. And I'm proud of it. And I hope that those people that are connecting and attracted to groups out there, I call them cults. There are probably tons of words for them, but I hope that if you're connecting with a group like that, that you are remembering to tap into your inner knowing, that you're meditating, that you're spending time alone with yourself, getting to know, because your soul's already functioning in your body. We're energetic, okay? So pay attention to the energy that you're feeling, because you will get to know what your soul feels like. And when you know what your soul feels like, you're going to know what it's telling you always. Because you're going to feel the energies of other people. We're energetic beings. So we feel each other's energy. And when we're feeling each other's energy, because I think about my younger years, right? When I suffered with a lot of depression, right? I realized looking back that I felt a lot of people's around me. I felt a lot of people's energy around me. And I think back, and I was carrying a lot of energy that wasn't my own without being aware, without even knowing. And then there was confusion and depression and stress and thinking this thought 1 minute and all these outside thoughts coming in. And when I started to tap into my own soul, guess what? Depression has become a less and less and less and less of a bombardment. It's like it doesn't really happen. It happens, but I know that where years ago that would have falling into that would become a days and then weeks and then months. You know what I mean? And a whirlwind of a roller coaster. And your mind going to all these dark places. And then now you get that feeling and that emotion, and it's just in that moment. Because guess what? You know exactly where to go. You know exactly how to raise your vibration. You know exactly how to pull yourself up out of that. And you know where it's coming from. And some of you know, when you know your soul's vibration so much, so well, you already know that when you walk into a room and you feel something, you know exactly when it's coming from you and when it's coming from somebody else. You know. Like now, years ago, I couldn't tell. I was going through all types of emotions I couldn't understand. Now, I could feel a anxiety in my chest, and I could look at the next person and say, "Hey, baby, you okay?" You good? You feeling anxious? And they're like, whoa, like, how you know that? Cause I know what my soul feels like, so I could recognize when I'm feeling my own emotions and when I'm feeling yours. You get what I'm saying? And many of us can do that, but that's when you're tapped into when you know yourself, when you and I mean know yourself, know thyself. I don't mean them voices that are coming into your head. That's not of you. Yet those thoughts are not of you. You are a vibration. Your own knowing, your own inner knowing is a feeling before you even start thinking. My kids and I, we test our intuition with the deck of cards. We look at the top of the deck.
But you have to
and
give me Steve tomorrow.
We test each other. Is this red or black? Is this a red or black card? We test each other with the numbers. What number is this? Because your soul already knows. And when you do things like that, you're testing the vibration. You're feeling what your body is telling you. And guess what? What always happens? When you start thinking, it fucks it up, right? You second guess yourself. When you start thinking, you second guess yourself. So we might go at it, all of us. We might red, black, red, black, red. Oh, okay, no, black. And then the card comes out and it's red. Because the gut feeling said red, but then the thought said, I think that's black. And then, you understand what I'm saying? Because you know what that is. It's when you second guess yourself. So we got to understand that sometimes the thoughts ain't coming from us. The thoughts aren't always coming from us. The thoughts, sometimes they are outside of us. And they become a confusion because we think they're coming from us. Because we might think that that's something from within us. But anything that is causing so much inner conflict and confusion inside of yourself, that is something you need to question. Anytime somebody's telling you something and it causes you to be combative with yourself and with others, that is something you need to question. And be real about the source. If you believe in a source, if you believe in a God and you feel that, be real about it. Do you think that God's down here running around with stacks, wads of money, talking about, I got all this money, come to me and let me teach you something, spend all your money on me, give me all your money? And I'm running around with a gun because I need to protect myself. You think that God is down here on this earth functioning that way? I'm just saying. Do you think that the source would need to fight for that? If the source that we all come from is a root of everything that we are, do you think that the source is where confusion came from? Do you think that the source is where confusion came from? I'm just saying, it's questions to ask when you're out there listening to these people and what they have to teach you and what they have to tell you and what they have to offer you. And pay attention to what they want from you. And pay attention to what they're teaching you. Does it really make sense? When you think about it from the core of your being, when you consult with your soul's inner knowing, does that sit well with you? And that's why I tell people, do you know where that's coming from? Do you know when you're feeling confusion? Do you know where that's coming from? Is that coming from you? Did your higher self tell you that? Did your gut emotion tell you that? Did that come from within you? And that's it. That's all it boils down to, is getting in alignment with yourself. That's it. Getting in alignment with yourself. All the answers you need are within yourself. And I know that sounds cliche, but your soul is all knowing. It is for a reason. Your soul is all knowing. You are aware already. What confuses you is what's outside of you. You know what I mean? It's disheartening for me because some of you that are getting warped into that, I don't even know what to call it. There's no name for me to give it because I don't resonate with that energy. So I don't even have an actual word for that. I don't know what that is. I don't resonate with that. When I see it, some of you are such important souls. So, and I'm not saying all of your souls are important, but some of you have such a deep-rooted work here. And some of you I see being attracted to something that is outside of yourself. You know what I mean? And those things cause you to question your inner knowing about who you are and about what you're here doing, about what your purpose is, and about what your soul's journey was. Okay? Because we all have a remembrance that we forget. And that many things distract us from being able to tap back into, to remember. Because that's all it is. It's a remembrance. Your soul has a whole journey, a whole existence that it's experienced. And there unfortunately is a separation between what is happening here and what is happening on a soul level that keeps a lot of people in confusion. A lot of people in confusion, you know? But aside from all of that, and I just say that to throw it out there, because sometimes things just need to be put into perspective. You know what I mean? And when it's just put into perspective, it's like, you know what? You're right. That makes sense. Because you shouldn't be leaving those places with all that confusion. You shouldn't be. You just shouldn't be. When I interact and mingle with my tribe, there's no confusion. I know who they are. They know who I am. It's energetic. It's energetic. You know what I mean? And you will meet with people and it will be like family. There is no competition here. What are we fighting for? I don't understand. When we meet each other, my tribe, when the soul connections that we have made, we know that there's a bigger picture. We know that there's a mission here. We know that there's a bigger picture. We know that this is about the soul, all souls, not just some. I'm not ridiculing you because of your placement in the world, because worldly things don't have shit to do with that. Nothing. Those are distractions. That's right. Energy never lies. Cult. I definitely went through that as well. Yes. Love you too, my love. Hi, Sam. What's up, beautiful? Repeated and changed. Yes. Beware of false gods and prophets. That's right. We are a team. We are a team. We have one soul mission together. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is a uplifting enlightenment. Like, if my presence don't remind you who you are, I don't have nothing else to do. Like, it is not my job to create confusion in you. You know what I mean? That is not what I'm here for. It is not my job to create confusion in you. My presence alone, my energy alone should bring a level of peaceful energy to you, a level of grounding to you. And that's it. When you walk away from me, that's how you should feel. When I walk away from you, that's how I should feel. And that's it. When there is confusion, that's when you should be asking questions. And now I'm not talking about to me, and I'm not talking about to them people. I'm talking about to yourself. Sit down with yourself and ask yourself these questions, because that's where you're going to get your inner knowing from. When you're feeling that confusion, you feel that you're feeling that confusion. Where is it coming from? That's what you need to consult with yourself. Where is this coming from? Is this coming from me? Is this coming from inside of me? Is my soul telling me that? Or is that coming from outside? Am I being bombarded from outside places? Also, and I've been saying this lately because of my own personal experiences. Also, please, please, please be protecting of your energy, because when you're cleansing your energy and you're protecting yourself and you are getting acquainted with yourself and you are spending time with yourself and you are tapping in and you are well introduced to your soul's energy and who you are, there is a level of, I don't know what word to use to describe it. There is a level of, it's knowing. It's just a level of knowing. Hi, my love. How are you? There is a level of knowing that you experience. And there's a level of protection that you have, because you're embracing yourself. You're embracing your source. You're embracing your purpose. You're embracing who you are. You are spending time with yourself. You are powerful. And I learned that. I learned that because when I experienced an invasion of my own body, an invasion of my own mind, I cleansed myself, I cleansed my crystals, I cleansed my space and my area that I was in. My words are powerful. And I could literally feel the change in the energy and the shift in the entire just feeling, right? Because what is outside of you does not have control over you unless you allow it to do so. You get what I'm saying? When someone is instilling fear in you, they are not of God. They are not of God. And I'm not saying that they're not a part of the same source that you come from, because they are. But they are not aware of their own power. If they are instilling fear in you, they are not aware. They are not aware. Because if they were aware, they would not be instilling that in you. They wouldn't even feel it in themselves. You get what I'm saying? That comes from a place of confusion. That comes from a place of outside interference. That comes from a place of invasion. Your own soul offers you comfort. Your own soul offers you peace. Your own soul offers you solace. The only time you are afraid of your own energy is when you don't understand it, when you are not open to learning who it is, to learning what it is, to learning who you are, what you are. That is fear. Outside of that, there's nothing there that your soul will give you that isn't for you. You understand what I'm saying? So I want you all to be aware of that, especially when you're on these platforms and you're out here. And I get it. I never used to be on here. I used to be on here on a personal page posting pictures of my kids every birthdays and stuff. Like, I wasn't never on here on live talking to people, mingling with people I don't know. I never was doing that. We live in an internet world. I get it. I get that we're now out here and we're using technology. I get that that's a major resource in our world these days. I get it. I'm on here. You see me on here running my business. I'm online here. I'm sharing. I'm posting. I'm putting content out there. I'm connecting with people. So I understand that. But there is so much out there that can be misleading, and so much out there that can be misguiding. Always be aware of who you're connecting with and what you're allowing to bombard your energy. Always be aware. If it's of God, it's not producing confusion. It's just not. You could feel that. Like, you feel it. You could feel it in your body. You could feel it in your bones. You could feel it in your soul. You could feel it. You know, I don't have to tell you that. I am, because sometimes perspective is everything. So that's why I felt the need to come on here and say that. But I don't have to tell you that, because your body will tell you that. Your soul will tell you that. You know what I mean? And when you walk away from that person and that teacher and that platform and that page that you follow or that live that you was in, and you feel confused and you feel in competition with others and you feel combative and you feel bombarded with different thoughts, that is not of God. That is not of God. That is not of the source that we all come from. And there is no need for you to fear that, because you are powerful. You come from a source. What would make you think that you need to live in fear? What would make you think that you need to become in competition with your own people? You get what I'm saying? To me, that doesn't make any sense. But I can understand why certain things look a certain way to certain people. I understand. I can get what is, you know, what is pretty about certain things. I can get what is attractive about certain things. For me, it's a simple no-brainer. I'm not attracted to that. That doesn't make sense to me. But I understand where the confusion can come in, especially when you're so young on this planet, because a lot of you young people on this planet really are old souls. A lot of you young people on this planet really are old souls. And so how certain people get to a place in their life where they're missing something and they go searching for a journey. They go searching for a spiritual journey. They go searching for answers. They go searching for something bigger. They go searching for something within themselves, and they find themselves on this journey, and they find themselves awakening, and they find themselves ascending and evolving, and they find their kundalinis rising. They're already searching for that. They're already learning about that. They're already expecting that. And so it runs a little bit smoother for them. But some of you are kids. Some of you are children on this planet. Some of you are 15 and 16 and 17 and 18 and 19 years old. And you are going through an ascension that no one's prepared you for. And it's been, and you didn't go searching for it. It just came to you. Why? Because your soul is so old. It's so ancient. It's so elevated. And you were placed here for a reason. And so the universe is bam, is laying it on you. And you're now being attracted to people who have this vibration because they're in the same boat as you. That is not mistaken. That is not... You... How do I put it? I feel like that's the most powerful position to be in, but also the most susceptible position to be in, because at that age, it is just like people want to manipulate. You know what I mean? At that age, it is easy for people to tell you this, that, and the third, and for you to believe it. You know what I mean? Do not allow people to bombard you with energy that is outside of your own. We made our life choices in previous lifetimes. Yes, and yes, but we do have a level of free will. But when you are, we all come here for reasons, right? And our soul is on an evolution, is on a journey of evolution, right? And life after life, we're learning lessons. We're growing. We're learning things. And ultimately, it is your choice, because you don't have to. But you're still going to keep coming back here to learn this lesson, right? So in some essence, it is already a previously made, decision. When your soul is real old and you're here right now, choice. You came here for a reason. You came here for a reason. You didn't need to be on that soul evolution journey that many people and souls are on. You did that already. You lived way more lives than a lot of the people around you. Way more. You already did that. Why do you think that you're going through a sudden ascension at the age of 15, 16, 17, 18, 19? Why do you think that is? Do you think that you're still here on that journey? No. You already did it. You're already equipped. You already came with that knowledge. Your soul has it. You're here, and it's awakening so early for you because you have a very specific purpose. Do not allow anyone to mislead or distract you. You know what it is. When you come from the beginning, when you come from a beginning of darkness, because that's where we come from. We come from a ball of energy in the dark sky, in the dark cosmos, okay? When you come from that, can't nobody tell you nothing about who you are. Because your remembrance goes back far beyond a time that most people can fathom. You get what I'm saying? Don't let people misconstrue to you what you're here doing and what your soul's knowing is. You get what I'm saying? Don't let people who don't have that understanding, because I know that it's hard for people to get, but there are people out here who are feeding all this stuff to other people and looking for all this like worship or whatever the hell it is that they're doing out here, and they soul's not even as old as your soul. They soul don't even come from a time and a place that your soul came from. They can't even fathom what your soul knows. And in essence, I feel that there's an intimidation there. You know what I mean? When your energy is so high, there's a level of intimidation that you don't mean to place onto people, but they receive it that way. Because of a lack of understanding, because of a lack of being able to open your mind and being able to fathom that. It's a ashe. It's a TikTok trend called LOL. Word. A word. And it's funny because on a regular day I wouldn't even be having these conversations because those things don't play a part in my life. But I have now connected and interacted with so many old souls who are in the bodies of young children, who are so beautiful, who are so amazing, who have such knowledge, such elevation, such an awareness of who they are, who have such power, who are so tapped in, but they are so susceptible to those outside energies. And it is so disheartening, you know? So I just want you all to be constantly tapping into yourself. Because even when you come to a platform like mine, I could read cards for you all day, and I could tell you what I see in your energy, and I could tell you what insight I have to offer you, what you know, what my spiritual guides are showing me that you need to hear, what's in your blockage, what you might not be seeing. I could tell you that all day long. But when you walk away from me, I want you to know. No. I don't want you to just listen to what I said in that reading just because I was saying it. Just because you should be listening to me. Because I'm on here trying to make $1. Because I'm on here trying to be heard. I want you to walk away knowing. I want you to be feeling that in your body, in your vibration. Walk away knowing that you heard, not from me, but from spirit, that you heard what you needed to hear. That you got what you needed to get. That you received what you needed to receive. You get what I'm saying? It's all about you. It's all about your spirit, your soul, your inner knowing. I could tell you what I want you to believe all day long. I don't talk about the things that I know. Because I don't know that, because I want to know that it's time before I start speaking. This is just the icing on the cake, and I'm only addressing this because of what I've seen lately, and I felt that it was time to say that. But there's